عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين محمد بن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Tonight, inshallah, we continue with Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah بالفوائد, كتاب الفوائد, and with a new benefit from this book. عنوانها بحبسان منجيان. يقول رحمه الله: فطالب الله والدار الآخرة لا يستقيم له سيره وطلبه إلا بحبسين: حبس قلبه في طلبه ومطلوبه، وحبسه عن الالتفات إلى غيره وحبس لسانه عما لا يفيده، وحبسه على ذكر الله وما يزيد في إيمانه ومعرفته، وحبس جوارحه عن المعاصي والشهوات، وحبسها على الواجبات والمندوبات، فلا يفارق الحبس حتى يلقى ربه فيخلصه من السجن إلى أوسع فضاء وأطيبه. ومتى لم يصبر على هذين الحبسين وفر منهما إلى فضاء الشهوات، أعقبه ذلك الحبس الفظيع عند خروجه من الدنيا. فكل خارج من الدنيا إما متخلص من الحبس وإما ذاهب إلى الحبس، وبالله التوفيق. قل رحمه الله: two prisons that bring salvation, two prisons that will save you. فطالب الله والدار الآخرة, the one who's seeking Allah and the last day, the one who wants Allah and the last day, cannot have his affairs straight. يعني he cannot be on the straight path toward this goal, and that is Allah and the hereafter. He cannot have the straight path unless he goes into two types of prisons. حبس قلبه في طلبه ومطلوبه. He has to put his heart in a prison that his heart becomes only for his goal. And you know, when a person is in a prison, he's very limited with what he can do. So if there is something provided for him inside the walls of this prison, that's very much what he can do. And the one who wants Allah and Dar al-Akhirah has to be in a prison that what's only available in it is everything that brings him to Allah and everything that helps him to fulfill his goal, and that is Allah wa Dar al-Akhirah. وحبسه عن الالتفات إلى غيره. And he has to be in this prison, so you can see, you be in the prison for, and you can be in prison from. When you are in a prison for, you're for your goal and for Allah. And when you are in prison from, you put yourself in seclusion and you separate yourself from that which will make you slower toward achieving your goal. So anything, and I have a goal, anything gonna slow me down from achieving my goal. I'm gonna make sure I put myself in a prison that this thing cannot reach me. So you are putting around yourself a shield, and that is the prison that you chose to put yourself in. to protect you and to help you to avoid any reason that will make you slower in reaching your goal. So you can see, to be in a prison for, and to be in a prison to protect. Yani some people who are high profile, they put on them security, extreme security, because they might be attacked. Yani maybe some witnesses in a case, very important case, and they might be in danger. So they put extra security on them, around their houses, guards with them wherever they go, to protect them from these people who might harm them. And you know, if you seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and ad-dar al-akhirah, there are a lot of things who want to slow you down and a lot of things who want to take you away. So you have to put and choose to put yourself in a prison to protect yourself from these influences. And then he said, وَحَبْسُ لِسَانِهِ عَمَّا لَا يُفِيدُ, and to put your tongue in a prison, يعني to imprison your tongue from that which does not benefit you. وَمِنْ حُسْنِ إِسْلَامِ الْمَرْءِ تَرْكُهُ مَا لَا يَعْنِيهِ, and a sign of good iman of a person is to leave that which does not concern him. And the Prophet ﷺ has made it clear, he who guarantees what's between his jaws and what's between his legs, Jannah. And he tells Mu'ad, وَهَلْ يَكُبُّ النَّاسَ فِي النَّارِ عَلَى وُجُوهِهِمْ إِلَّا حَصَائِدُ أَلْسِنَتِهِمْ, anything throws people more in the hellfire on their faces other than what their tongues have done. وَيْلٌ لِكُلِّ هُمَزَةٍ لُمَزَةٍ الَّذِي جَمَعَ مَالًا وَعَدَّدَهُ يَحْسَبُ أَنَّ مَالَهُ أَخْلَدَهُ. So very important to understand, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ, that is done with the tongue. لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. So very important to understand that danger, and very important to understand the seriousness of your tongue and the crimes that it can commit. So it's better for you to put it in prison from that which does not suit it and does not benefit. وَحَبْسُهُ عَلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَمَا يَزِيدُ فِي إِيمَانِهِ وَمَعْرِفَتِهِ, and to imprison yourself, in other words, to dedicate yourself for everything that brings you closer to Allah and increases your iman. وَحَبْسُ جَوَارِحِهِ عَنِ الْمَعَاصِي وَالشَّهَوَاتِ. So you can see حَبْسٌ عَلَى وَحَبْسٌ فِي وَحَبْسٌ عَنِ, and each one serve differently. وَحَبْسُهُ عَنِ الْمَعَاصِي وَالشَّهَوَاتِ, and to shield yourself as if you're putting it in a prison, so you don't have to face the shahawat, and you don't have to face all these factors that try to destroy you. Because building iman is very tough, and building relationship between you and your Lord takes a lot of effort and takes a lot of sacrifice. But destroying it is so easy. To destroy it is so easy. Don't you see that if a person is building a house or building a building or building anything, that it takes him too long to go up, and if there is one person behind him destroying, لا يستقيم البناء على حال, he can't build anything. Imagine one person building and one behind him with a big hammer destroying what he builds. Do you think that he will get the chance to build anything? Because destroying is much easier than building. So imagine when the builders, 10 builders, and there is one person destroying behind them. Do you still think there will be ever a building? There will never be a building. So imagine when the builder is one and the destroyers are many. And that is the reality. You try to build yourself, and you try to build your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there are many things out there trying to bring you down, and trying to destroy you, and trying to take you away from Allah, in the house, in the job, on the street, in the school, with the people, even in the masajid. So you have to imprison yourself from all these things that will try to take you away from achieving your goal. And that is the prison he's talking about, rahimahullah. وَحَبْسُهَا عَلَى الْوَاجِبَاتِ وَالْمَنْدُوبَاتِ. And you have to imprison yourself to become dedicated to fulfill the obligations and the sunnah. The obligations and the voluntarily. فَلَا يُفَارِقُ الْحَبْسَ حَتَّى يَلْقَى رَبَّهُ. So you see this kind of prison? You have a prison so you can clear your mind to worship your Lord and to fulfill your duties. You are in this prison, and the positive of this is you are protected by this shield, by these walls, from all the ma'asi and all the haram that might slow you down. And you are in this prison that will help you to have time with yourself, to be more dedicated for Allah. Yani, in other words, you get to know your priorities and you get to make time for it, and you have time for it, and that's what you need to do. Don't go and commit a crime so you say I can be in prison, so I can achieve these things. That is not the point. If you can do it here, you can do it in there. You have to be strong to do it anywhere you are. And that's why Ibn al-Qayyim, teacher, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, the teacher of Ibn al-Qayyim, when they put him in prison, he said, مَا يَفْعَلُ بِأَعْدَائِ. When he stood against the bid'ah, and he stood and he fought the innovations in the religion of Islam, they did not like his fatwa, and they did not like what he was calling for, and that is the sunnah. They throw him in jail. He said, مَا يَفْعَلُ بِأَعْدَائِ أَنَا جَنَّتِي فِي قَلْبِي. My iman in my heart. What my enemies can do to me. If they put me in jail, if they imprison me, فَسَجْنِي خَلْوَةً. Then I'm alone. I have more time. I am not worried about other responsibilities. Khalwa. I'll be alone to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he wrote many things while he was in his prison, rahimahullah, until they took away from him the pen and the paper. And that is his students, Ibn al-Qayyim, Shamsuddin. So these are prisons that the believer who wants success, because remember the title, he called it Habsani Munajjiyani, 2 prisons that will guarantee salvation for you and safety. 2 prisons that will save you from the hellfire. And those are a prison to dedicate yourself for certain things, and a prison to protect yourself from certain things. So then he said, rahimahullah, فَلَا يُفَارِقُ الْحَبْسَ حَتَّى يَلْقَى رَبَّهُ. So here we're talking about life sentence. He says, rahimahullah, فَلَا يُفَارِقُ الْحَبْسَ حَتَّى يَلْقَى رَبَّهُ. He never leaves this prison until he meets his Lord, until he dies. That is a life sentence or what? Your whole life. You have to be in such prison if you want to be successful with Allah. فَيُخَلِّصُهُ مِنَ السِّجْنِ إِلَى أَوْسَعَ فَضَاءٍ وَأَطْيَبٍ. So when he meets his Lord, he saves him and he takes him out of this prison to a spacious place and better place. وَمَتَى لَمْ يَصْبِرْ عَلَى هَذَيْنِ الْحَبْسَيْنِ وَفَرَّ مِنْهُمَا إِلَى فَضَاءِ الشَّهَوَاتِ. And once he loses patience to be in those prisons in this life, yani, if he cannot handle it and he runs out of those prisons, what he gonna run to? He gonna run to the world of shahawat and the world of desires and the world of away from Allah. أعقبه ذلك الحبس الفظيع عند خروجه من الدنيا. Such prison will follow him in the hereafter once he leaves this world. والله والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول لا يجمع الله على عبد عسرين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not inflict a servant with two hardships. If He inflicts him in the dunya, He will waive him or save him in the akhirah. And if He does not inflict him in the dunya, He will inflict him in the akhirah. لا يجمع الله على عبد عسرين. So this person who chose not to be in such prison will have to be in the prison of the akhirah. And that is worse. And that is tougher. And that is harder. And that might be the eternal loss. So be aware. وَيَوْمٌ عِنْدَ رَبِّكَ كَأَلْفِ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا يَعُدُّونَ. When the measures are different, and the days are different, and the hours are different. And what I mean by that, longer and way longer. You don't want to deal with that. So put yourself in this dunya and protect it from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to stay away from. And it might be hard. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want you to suffer. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants what's best, knows what's best for you. And that's what He wants you to do. And He knows what's worst for you. And that's what He wants you to abstain from and stay away from. And that is when you put yourself and engulf yourself in a bubble to protect yourself from all these things. Don't you see that the one of us might buy $100 or $200 or $500 glasses, sunglasses, so he can protect his eyes from the sun. The same thing. There are more harmful things than the rays that come from the sun. More harmful. So you have to put yourself in protection. And you have to surround yourself with this shield. And this shield is the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And fulfilling the orders of Allah to be saved and to be protected from this, all these harms. يقول رحمه الله فكل خارج من الدنيا إما متخلص من الحبس وإما ذاهب إلى الحبس. And everyone dying in this dunya, everyone who leaves this dunya, either he's getting out of prison or getting himself into prison. That's the bottom line. And trust me, the prison of the dunya is way better than the prison of the akhirah. وحفت الجنة بالمكاره. And the road to Jannah and the path to Jannah and the way to Jannah is full of obstacles. And if you think you can get there without suffering and without fighting and without striving and without sweating, then you're wrong. فالنعيم لا يدرك بالنعيم. النعيم لا يدرك بالنعيم. نعيم الجنة لا يدرك بنعيم الآخرة. The pleasures of Al-Jannah cannot be achieved through the pleasures of the dunya. You want the pleasure of the akhirah, you have to sacrifice the pleasure of the dunya, and you have to know where you should be. يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من كانت الآخرة همه, whose concern is the hereafter, whose priority is the hereafter, who wants the hereafter. يعني مطلبه الله والدار الآخرة. His goal, his heart, his mind, and his focus toward the hereafter. Because he knows this dunya حقيرة. مهما عظمت فهي حقيرة ومهما طالت فهي قصيرة. It doesn't matter how great it looks, still nothing, of no worth. And it doesn't matter how long it seems it's gonna go, how long, it's still short. 60, 70 or 80 or 90. يعني the oldest man they were thinking in Japan, and 113 or 110 years old. And when the authorities went to congratulate him, because he's the oldest man in the world, went to congratulate him in his house at his birthday party, they found that he's been mummified for years. And they were keeping his body to cash on it. That's in Japan. How long you gonna live? How long did Fir'aun live? Fir'aun who said, أَنَا رَبُّكُمُ الْأَعْلَى, I'm your highest Lord, the high, your Lord, the high. How long Qarun lived? How long in Namrud lived? These people, tyrants. They last, they don't last. They're all dead. So it doesn't matter how long you think you're gonna live. At the end, كل نفس ذائقة الموت. So يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم من كانت الدنيا من كانت الدنيا أكبر همه, whose concern and priority is the material of this world, the dunya. يعني he lives in this dunya as if he gonna live forever, and he lives in this dunya as if he will never leave. جعل الله فقره بين عينيه. Allah will put his poverty between his eyes. He might be a billionaire, he might be rich, filthy rich businessman, he might be king, but Allah puts it between his eyes, never satisfied, always, ever feeling poor and feeling the need to collect more. Always. That is the person who wants the dunya. Because the Prophet ﷺ says that the son of Adam is so greedy. If he's given one mountain of gold, he strives for the second. He wants the second. And you find people saying, once I get my business, or once I collect 500,000, I will stop. And when the 500,000 takes place, then he wants some safety net, and then he wants the future, and then he's afraid he's gonna run out of money, and he spent his whole life doing that and forgetting about why he was created. So he who wants the dunya and makes the dunya his priority, and he lives for the dunya, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts poverty right between his eyes. Between his eyes. Yani if you put something between your eyes, try to put your hand between your eyes, you can't see clear. You're going to have blurry vision. He doesn't see the truth. So he who wants that, Allah will put poverty between his eyes. وَفَرَّقَ عَلَيْهِ شَمْلَهِ, and he will always be lost. He will always be confused. He will always be unable to determine what he wants. And the worst thing in life is to live without a purpose and to live without a goal. You don't know where you're heading, and you don't know what you're doing, and you don't know what you should do. And that is really a miserable life. وَلَمْ يَأْتِهِ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَا قُدِّرَ لَهُ. And at the end, all he's gonna get from this dunya is what Allah has decreed for him, what Allah has set for him from before. That's all he's gonna get. But at the same time, he has lost his endeavors with Allah. And he who puts the dunya, or who puts the akhirah, من جعل الآخرة أكبر همه. Look, on the other hand now, أفنجعل المؤمنين كالمسرفين مفسدين. So he said, the Prophet said, and he who makes the akhirah his main concern, جعل الله غناه في قلبه. Allah will make him rich in his heart, content, satisfied, pleased. Does not look at what others have. Is not concerned about what others have from the material. If he gonna envy someone, he will envy him for ilm. And if he gonna envy someone, he will envy him for Quran. And if he gonna envy someone, he will envy him for ibadah. As one said, he said, if you see someone who's better than you in ibadah, then it will not be exaggeration to die out of stress. It will not be exaggeration to die out of stress, because perhaps he's way ahead of you with Allah. And this is what you should feel sorry for. And this is what you should grieve on when you see someone who's better than you in his relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. جَعَلَ اللَّهُ غِنَاهُ فِي قَلْبِهِ. And when something in your heart, no one can reach it. No one has access to it. You see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talks about Iblis and the khutuwat of Iblis and the cunning of Iblis and the makr of Iblis, He talks about the sudur. إنها لا تعمى الأبصار ولكن تعمى القلوب التي في الصدور. Iblis has no direct access to your heart. If he gonna throw you with an arrow, he gonna throw it in your chest. But think of this heart like a house or like a palace, that if you say, I'm gonna close the windows and close the doors, and I don't care what happens outside, and someone comes and you open, whenever you have trash, you open a window and you throw the trash out of the window and you close the door, and whoever wants to dump his trash, he will come and dump it in your yard, and you say, my doors are closed and my windows are locked. Don't you think that you're gonna be, after time and after a while, the smell gonna reach you, and then when you try to open, the garbage will spill in? And that is how you do with the heart. Iblis throw the shahawat and the shubuhat in your chest, and if you don't keep cleaning that through ibadah and through worshipping Allah and through repenting and through istighfar and through hamd and through takbir, to clear all that and to remove it, it will eventually get in your heart. So be aware of that. So the Prophet ﷺ said, جَعَلَ غِنَاهُ فِي قَلْبِهِ. When it's in your heart, no one has access to it. وَجَمَعَ لَهُ شَمْلَهُ. And make him all together. Make him focused. Make him safe. Make him confident. Make him strong. وَأَتَتْهُ الدُّنْيَا وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ. And after all that, when he made the akhirah his concern, the dunya comes to him وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ, without choice. It comes to him and it goes under his feet and he ignores it, and it keeps running after him because he wanted something else. That's what the Prophet ﷺ is saying. It's not me. الصادق المصدوق لا ينطق عن الهوى. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling you that. He says he does not talk out of his own hawa and out of his own caprice. He talks out of revelation from Allah. He's telling you this is the reality. You want the dunya? Make your concern the akhirah. So he who makes his concern the akhirah wins the dunya and the akhirah. And he who makes his concern the dunya loses the dunya and the akhirah. ذَلِكَ هُوَ الْخُسْرَانُ الْمُبِينُ. So be aware and learn and understand and apply, and remember that you're created for Allah, and to Allah you will return. قولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.